Hey, welcome to the Into the Night with Shawn Kelly. We are on UPRN Radio 105.3 New Orleans. And how's everybody doing tonight? I'm doing okay. A little bit of a rough spot. Um, a little bit. I don't know. This new medication that I'm taking, it it's kind of bumming me out. So I I don't know what to do with my my depression and stuff like that. So I hope everyone else is doing okay. And I just want to tell you that I still pray for you. I still think about you out there, whoever's having problems. And I'm there for you. Okay. All right. Now, as you can see, I have a very special guest tonight who I, who I love very, very much because he's my brother. All right.
He has
And
to. It's the law.
and with no further ado, my brother Patrick. How you doing tonight, Pat?
Fun. My name is Patrick. I like long walks on the beach. I'm a Leo, currently single. I deliver flowers because that's the way I roll. Looking for anything. Somebody with a breathing, that's fine. You're recently dead, but we won't go there because that's not right. But I just want to say my brother is pretty awesome,
Thank you.
and he looks out for his little brother. If it wasn't for him, I'd probably end up in jail
Oh, well, yeah,
or
that
dead.
is true. Well, both,
It is
either,
true.
more. It is true.
Yeah.
So, so, how's it feel to be on my show tonight, Pat?
I'll tell you what, I was so excited I fell asleep. It was I'm
You
just like
fell,
oh,
you fell asleep. Why?
yeah, see
Why?
the reason why you had me on your show is because you had nobody else.
Right?
And you needed your ratings upgraded. So you're like, hey, who to get better than your younger brother? The better looking one. But that's okay. I can see that you need me to boost your ratings.
I sure do. Yeah, I mean, this. I'll tell you
Good
what.
looking, you know that. This is the
I,
first time I'm ever doing this.
I know you're looking
You're
up.
not looking up my nose or doing no.
Oh, we see your teeth that are missing and everything else, dude.
Hey,
Yeah.
guess what? Tomorrow I'm getting the last fitting for my teeth.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
congratulations, dude. But no, I mean this has been a pretty crappy year. It was pretty crappy last year,
Yes.
and I thought we would bring you on, share a little bit of humor, and talk about how you love dragons.
Oh,
Talk about dragons, bud.
dragons. I love dragons. I study some dragon magic. I believe that they do exist. They're all around us, large ones, small ones. I do believe that they are very close to you, and each one of us has our own private dragon.
And what dragon do you have?
I cannot pronounce his name, but I call him Fred.
You call him Fred.
I
Okay.
can't because if they teach you how to pronounce their real name, you got to be really, really close with them and then in the family. So if you have a young dragon that's probably about 300 years old and you're only what 12, yeah,
Right. Okay.
you and once they trust you, they'll tell you their real name, and sometimes it's really hard to pronounce.
Hey, Holly, how are you tonight, guys? Fight nice, guys. We will, Holly. I promise.
Hi, Holly, whoever you are, I can't see you, but I hear you're awesome.
She
That's coming
is.
from the Pat Man.
That's,
Because the Pat Man says you're awesome, the Pat Man says you're awesome.
hey, no third person talking in here. No third person. Pat
Well,
man.
the Pat Man won't talk in third person.
So tell me more about the dragons. I mean, how did you go by getting dragons and stuff?
Oh, well, when I was young, probably about 30, 35 years ago, I came across something unusual. I was like it was a stone, but it turned out to be, looked like a dragon egg. Still have
Mm,
it somewhere. And ever since then, the luck of the dragons, there's actually five dragons,
okay.
major dragons. You have the earth, wind, fire, and air dragons. I cannot pronounce their names. But there is
Okay.
also nobody really knows about the Chaos Dragon. There is a
Mm.
Chaos Dragon. The only thing you can invoke the Chaos Dragon to come and help you, but it erases everything, everything you knew, everybody that you talked to, even family members, because the Chaos Dragon gets rid of everything. If you say, "Hey, I need to get rid of, my police record or something on that lines," they'll get rid of the police record, but everything else on it, everybody who you knew.
Okay. Now, has this been proven already by
Yes.
others?
No, what is proof? I mean, one other person's proof is another man's, denial.
Right.
I mean, you can only believe what you believe. You can't enforce your beliefs on anybody else. I can just go around saying I do believe in fairy magic. I do. If you do, when I set out like cream and like a sweet, you'll see. You keep a camera on it, you'll see a raccoon. The raccoon also represents fairies, and sometimes they're prankster fairies who like to steal things and
Right.
misplace them. But the same thing with the dragon. Once there's a house dragon. I forget the name. I can't pronounce it, but it's German descent, and it lives in your house, and that's who hides your stuff, and it plays tricks on you. But it's not cruel. But they do protect the house. Like
Okay.
same thing, huh?
Now, okay. In some other folklore, you know, so you call dragons to where another one might call it little people, like
Correct.
little, we'll say gnomes, um, I don't know, leprechauns, whatever you want to call it, because I know for a fact that I did a show on that before, and I forget the name of the little guys that hang around the house, but they're there to help out, help clean and stuff like that, and you know,
Did you know
um,
trolls are fairies?
who?
Trolls.
Yeah, 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 yeah. They're part of the
Oh,
little people. Yeah, but so you would say that dragons, you would represent that instead of the little people in
yes.
your house. Okay.
In the house and the surrounding your house. I mean, like I have our house is protected.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I've done crystals at each corner of the protection crystals at each of the corners of the house
Mm-hmm.
property. They're buried. You dig them out, and I mean, you dig them, put them in there, and in the ground. Uh, that's what's protecting. And also, I sometimes I will put out um, heavy cream and cakes for the
Okay.
fairies. So they'll feel, like you get along good with everybody in the fairy world or in the different dimensions. Like there is a person that I know that has an air elemental that protects its house,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not that good at getting an air elemental, but if you can get an air, it's basically a bodyguard for the house because an
Okay.
air elemental is basically wind.
Okay. So there's nothing else with. I'd like to get back to the dragons though.
Sure.
Okay, because it is fascinating because not growing up, but recently I see you doing like dragon magic and you talk a lot about the dragons and I find it pretty interesting, but I'm not real well that's really not, I don't want to say my style. I don't really understand it, but I know for a fact in the past that the dragons have been good to you, and I think my listeners would like to learn a little
Just
bit
like the
more.
guardian angels are yours.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, how do you go by summoning a dragon?
Well, first, there's different ways, but the way I've done it is, some magicians would do the circle counterclockwise with salt, with candles, with, and that's their way they do it. Me,
Hmm.
I would just sit out in the backyard or even in my chair right now and talk to them, respect them, and say, "Hey, I need help doing this. Would you help me find who you are, or can you show me? Basically, you don't need all the stuff. I don't, but there are some people that need the candles, the incense, the gems. I mean, they do like shiny things.
Right.
So, uh, but yeah, sometimes if I want to, I have a dragon bloods candle.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got my dragon tattoos and my protection from evil tattoos, we use the dragon blood ink along with tattoo ink to infuse.
Okay.
So my
I
tattoo,
remember that. I think Kimmy gave that to you, didn't she not?
yeah, Kimmy drew it up,
Mm-hmm.
and I had my friend Matt, who's a tattoo artist, and he did the dragon's blood, and he mixed it in with a regular tattoo ink, and it's on the back of my shoulder right here.
Okay. Nothing to say, but can you put the phone in the other hand? You're shaking really a lot.
Well, I shake.
I
I
know
don't
you shake,
it's
but
in.
but okay, explain the shaking so my viewers can,
Okay,
understand.
it's not Parkinson's. They're called tremors. Our family does have tremors. Sometimes when I'm holding a glass of water or something like that, it looks like I am shaking like I'm on drugs. Or if I'm slicing a bread, it looks like a regular knife on a bread. It looks like I got an electric knife.
Mm-hmm.
It is tremors. Sometimes they're pretty bad when I don't sleep or get enough to eat. There's our cousins and family. It's a family thing. A lot of people in our family have it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm light compared to some of the other ones. But yeah, some people mistake it for being Parkinson's, or you're drunk, or you're high, or on some type of hallucinogenic because of your shaking. But that's why I'm shaking. So you can even see my hand; it's still shaking.
Yeah. I thought it was because you were around me and you were nervous, dude.
Oh, dude, no, 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 no. The only reason why I would be nervous about it were you is because I'm better looking than you,
I don't think so.
and
Holly,
I'm
what do you
younger
think?
than you.
Yeah,
And
by 2 years. Holly, you're the judge, Holly. Who's better looking?
well, see, I can't see Holly, and so I can't. She had so hi Holly, whoever you are. I can't see you, but I hear you're awesome. I hear you're the best person around. You're a great dresser.
And she's
You
watching right now.
you are awesome.
So now,
Hmm.
that we touched up, now if you wanted to, how would you go by doing some dragon magic?
Well, what I'll do is, like I said, I'll sit here and I'll ask for help. I'll be like, all right, us dragon magic, and I also do believe in karma. Me and karma love hate relationship.
Yeah, explain that.
Okay,
Thank you,
I
Holly. She
I
said we were
screw up
welcome.
immensely, but
Okay.
I get karma says, "Hey, you screwed up. You're gonna get screwed." I'm like, okay, but then when I do something all right, like the other day when I was walking down the street, I didn't see anything going down the ground, but then I turned around, there's a $5 bill laying on the street.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. But they reward you. But if you screw up, just like the dragons, they're like, yeah, you screwed up really bad. You're going to pay for it. But in the end, if you're a good person and you believe in yourself and you trust in yourself, it will come back to you twofold. I mean, they'll help you. Like if you need help one time, like finding money, or hey, I need to make this red light. I mean, this green light. Boom, the green light's
Right.
right there.
Okay. I
Um,
understand that.
if you respect in my field is the biggest thing you have to do. If they
Right.
respect you, if you respect them, they respect you. You do not judge. I do not judge anybody or anything like that. I mean, if you don't believe what I say, that's fine. That's your prerogative. You know, I don't cut you down or anything like that. And I, in turn, don't you think I should be cut down for what I believe? I mean, I do believe in fairy magic. I do believe in dragons. I do believe in fairies. I believe in ghosts. I believe in extra dimensional people, not Bigfoot, not the Yeti.
Why
That does
not?
not
Why
exist.
not, dude?
Not exist.
Whoa, crap. They do exist. I don't
No,
know.
they don't.
Oh,
Yetis
you
don't
look like a
exist.
Yeti,
It's
dude.
just no. No. I mean, let's go hammer on a trunk of a tree and, like to see what yells back. Really? If there is truly one, they're 7, 8 feet. I wouldn't want one coming into the damn camp. Oh, hell no. No, I'll be like, I'm sorry, I'll trip you. I'll trip you. I'm gone. But they do not exist. If whoever it is, it's a big guy out there like Andre the Giant size, putting on a costume and going and shit like that. Oops, sorry for cussing.
That's okay. You can say that word, but don't say it too often because I might get fired. So go ahead.
It's your show, dude.
No, it's my show.
Yeah, just censor yourself.
But no, listen, we've had a lot of guests, as you know, that I'm the co-host with Jenny Nicasio and Jason I. and Petra. And
Hey, Jason, peace out.
yeah, I don't know if he's listening or not, but I know Jenny is. So we would have people on and who were Bigfoot people. Okay,
They're posers.
they're they're posers. What do you mean they're posers?
They're liars. They're just looking to make a quick buck. But then
Really?
again, that's just me.
Is
No,
that your
I'm not going to
opinion
be
that you're
running around
saying?
out in the woods screaming like a big who was it, Chewbacca?
Mm-hmm.
No, they do not exist. Okay, it's been proven. They got these big. They can plaster. What is it? They can make Bigfoot feet. Any guy that does FX.
Right.
They can make the Bigfoot feet and go tromping around and like, oh, let me break a branch and let me put a piece of fur here. Oh no, that's a Bigfoot there.
Okay. Now, back to the Taste of Prophecy situation, which he said, if there can be dragons, why not Bigfoot? That was from Holly.
Who?
Holly. She said,
Well,
if there can be dragons, why not Bigfoot?
well, dragons exist. Bigfoots don't.
Hmm. Hmm.
But that's my personal opinion.
Okay.
I mean, you got your hunters out there. Great. There was what was that one program that Bigfoot hunting?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it was? Years ago? Or 2 or 3
they
years
have a
ago?
lot of them on now.
Did they ever find one? Did they ever actually see one? They heard something in the background.
Right.
But did any Bigfoot or Yetis ever come in to the camp and say, hey, how you doing? My name is Bob the Yeti. No.
Right. Okay. But how would you and it's cool that you have that opinion about Bigfoot. You know what I mean? Now, aliens, okay, there's a lot of people that believe that Bigfoot can jump from different universes. Like
I
that's
mean,
why
dimensional jumping?
that to jump to another universe to go through a portal. Why don't you believe in Bigfoot? That was Jenny. She wants to know.
No. See, I've never dealt or seen or heard a Bigfoot. I've seen documentaries on them. I've seen everything about that, but there is no positive proof of a Yeti or an abominable snowman or Bigfoot. If
Mhm.
they're out there, great. Maybe big old grizzly bear. I don't know.
Well, a lot of people think that a lot of the some people think that when they see a Bigfoot, actually it could be a grizzly bear, or it could be some kind of bear.
True.
You know,
And I mean, bears can walk upright. They can, they can walk straight. Look at cats. Cats can do it. Dogs can do it. Why not bears?
well, true. Because everyone thinks that the dog man. There's a cryptid out there called a dog man that looks like a dog, skinny dude. Got a face of a dog, hairy the type of dude. A lot of people think they exist, and they probably do. So that's what I like about the paranormal, and you can put paranormal in with Bigfoot, aliens,
Oh, without a
cryptids,
doubt,
whatever.
yes.
But Holly has a question for you. Holly, I'm glad you asked this question for my brother Pat. She says, "Have you ever seen a ghost?"
Many times.
Okay, care to share for Holly?
Sure. I don't have the picture on me, but we Where does Deborah live, Sean? McKeesport or McKees Rocks?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. All
Yeah.
right. We were at her house. I have the pictures of it, and it was overcast at night. And 50 feet from her house is an Indian burial ground. Sean, you can
Yep.
attest to that.
Yep.
And we were out the one night, and we were down there, and they took a picture of me, and there was a little fairy
Mm-hmm.
that was up in the trees. I
Right.
got two shots of them. You seen the pictures? It was, there was not real. I mean, they were real. They weren't doctored or anything. Now, seeing a ghost, yes. When we were doing an investigation, I forget one of them. Uh, it was out in the cornfield or out in the field. Sue was with us, along
Okay.
with, huh?
That was Don Sue's house down there in Elkhorn, PA. That was probably in the back 40.
Oh, okay. But yeah, yeah, you see shadows. I believe in shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is a true. Sean was doing what he was doing raw fare. We were down in Hickory, PA, at a bar, and he was the guy that was the bar manager was drunk, but not totally drunk, and they were shooting. And up on the wall in the back, you could see that his cast there was only 4 shadows from the cast, but there was a fifth one. And I pointed to the guy. I said, "How many shadows do you see up there?" And he's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I said, "How many people are over there?" 1, 2, 3, 4. He got out real quick.
Yeah, he
He
did.
just
Like,
left. He
yeah,
left so quick it wasn't
yeah.
even funny.
I'm telling you that was a good investigation. In fact, I actually put that episode. It's the Granish Club down there in is it Cecil? I think it's Cecil.
I think
Um,
it's Hickory, PA, but
well, I say
and then
Cecil,
there's
you say Hickory.
and then there was the time when was it Carnegie where the Underground Railroad, but was it Carnegie's house or Mellon where they built the tables inside the rooms?
That was Westinghouse.
That was
That
West.
was his mansion. Yeah.
Okay, when we were down there, the way I investigate is I just sit there and let them come to me. I don't go around calling them out. I don't like when people call them out. But I'm sitting there and then they're more towards us than we are to them. So
Care
I
to
was
explain
sitting,
that?
yeah. I believe that they're in the same dimension as we are right now. But
Okay.
we're looking at them and they're looking at us like, hey, are they real or are they fake? Don't know. And that's what we look at them. Well, I was with another one of your members, Mooney, and we were just sitting there talking, and all of a sudden, right in front of us, there was the secretary, and there was 2 offices on the left and the right. We heard typewriters,
Mm-hmm.
and there was nobody there.
Okay.
You
Now
know,
you know the two different types of hauntings. There is a legitimate haunting where the ghost is for real, and then there's that repetitious one.
uh,
Um,
you mean like
what
what do you call um,
whenever
visual?
yeah, residual. Thank you, residual.
But I do believe, yeah. And then there was a lot of shadow people walking back and forth. Some of them were looking at us, and we were looking at them. But that's the way I do the investigation. I sit there and let them come to me and I'll talk normal, like what we're doing right now, because they're more interested in us than we are of them.
Now, when you do that, when you talk to the shadow, or when you do talk to a ghost, or you wait for them, how do you know they're talking to you?
Coldness comes around.
Okay.
You feel really, really cold. You can tell if they're really close by the different temperature.
Okay.
If it, breezy cold, okay, they're around. But if you get really cold, like going into a freezer cold, but not being cold from the freezer,
Hmm.
that's when they're like you and I sitting here. Sometimes they'll be to the left, sometimes they'll be to the right, but they are around. And plus, what is that machine? EMP?
E K2 meter.
K2 meter. You also
Hmm.
use the K2 meter. That's how you can judge when one of the spirits are around.
Right. So, as before we came on here, you had a couple things that you would
Oh
like
yeah,
to
may
do.
I ask? May I? do this, Holly. What I'm going to do is I'm trying for a while to start a GoFundMe page. Okay, it's for a retirement village for ghost. Okay. Basically, you're done haunting a house. Hey, I'm done haunting, 50, 60 years. There's really nothing to do. Why don't we just go to the haunted village? Have swimming pool. Let them go swimming or play croquet or tennis or something like that where they need to relax and unwind. Then maybe once a month take a trip to the Museum of Natural History. Hey, I remember being there, or just go out for shits and giggles and go, terrorize people. Did you see what I did to that guy? Watch this, watch this. Or what you see, he doesn't like when the chains rattle, you just rattling chains or, going up and yeah. And then, I'm also thinking of starting a business is I hate to use the term pimping, but if you will call me up and say, hey, Patty, that's my nickname. Hey, Patty, this guy's really making me mad. Can I get a ghost to go haunt him? It's got to cost you some bud. Give me about $200. I'll have what type of ghost you want. You want a spirit? You want a troll? Depending on the different levels, do you want to be scared crap out of you? Or you just want like, ooh, and stuff like that. So the different price will go up for the different haunting that you want. Right. I make a profit. The ghosts do what they do best and go spooky people. But I am trying to start that for the wayward ghost.
For the wayward
because
ghost.
You'll be walking around,
ghost.
Yeah, wayward ghost. Like the ones that back in Sue's house, the wayward ghost. Like, hey, I'm back here in the back 40. What is this? My God, what is that across the street? What is that motor vehicle or, a horseless carriage? And, like educate the ghost. Like, hey, this is the 2017th century, This ain't the 1800s anymore. We have different things going on. And teach them, learn them. So if they ever want to go to the other side and I'm dead, I go, hey, I remember you. All right, let's just go down to the whiskey house and get some whiskey and talk about the good old days, about wrestling and cattle and, or anything like that. But I think that is a really good idea. But the ghost thing, call me up. Yeah, I'll sell you a ghost for a night, $50, $60. Does the haunting. He's done. If you want more, you got to pay more.
So when are you going to start this GoFundMe page?
I'm trying. And I bet you any money that there's probably people out there that will do this, that help me out. Look at me. I'm sincere. I am sincere about this. I'm sorry, what?
You're bullshitting there. He is sincere, but
I am sincere because look at everybody needs to be loved. Really? I just want to be loved. That's so wrong. Ghosts want to be loved because they're what? Dead. All right? And their family dead. Or they have like a great grandkid who doesn't want nothing to do with them, because he's dead.
Right.
And you just want to make them feel welcome, open them up with open arms, but you can't really hug them or anything like that.
I remember on a couple investigations I did that, the guys are really wrestler fanatics, right? And I went to this one place where the guy wanted to do a body slam. He wanted to do, where they pick them up and they go backwards and they land. He wanted to do that to the ghost off his freaking balcony. That was funnier than hell because he just thought it was.
Probably break.
Now, of all the investigations that you've been on with us, what was your favorite?
The Hickory, the bar.
The bar?
Mm-hmm. That was one of the best ones. And the other one, I think it was in McKee, where you got the picture of the girl.
Yeah, that was in McKeesport. That's when Faith was there with us and Doreen and all them.
McKeesport. Oh, this is true. Down in Pittsburgh, they have to get down to the basement, especially the old coal houses. The old coal house. Now I'm a pretty big kind of guy, but I was like probably about 25, 30 pounds more heavier. Yes, I know it's hard to believe, but I'm like that, but no body shaming. All right. And in order to get down to the basement, you actually had to turn backwards and walk down. And that's how steep it was. But once you got to the basement, it was huge. The basement was huge. So I was doing that, and everybody was upstairs where you got the picture from. And I'm walking up the steps again, and something put a nail or a screw at
It
the
was a
top.
screw.
It was a screw at the top of the step.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I was walking up normally, I would have missed it. But I
Right.
had to crawl up because how steep and how narrow it was. I would have never seen that screw.
Right. Isn't that when Faith got thrown?
Yeah, Faith got thrown out. I caught her. Um, yeah, and that's the night. They other people that were there. Remember the refrigerator smelling, and
Oh
that was
yeah.
smell because yeah, and they thought that was like rotting ghosts and stuff. Here was the refrigerator. And they had the power shut off for 4 days, and they left all their
Food
um,
inside the
food
refrigerator.
inside.
Yeah.
So that
Mm-hmm.
was that one. But the one kid was going around carrying a cross to each room.
Well, do you blame them?
Huh? No, no, I don't blame him. I mean, I would too if I was like, a little bit nervous. I think he was like 16 or 17 years old, and
Mm-hmm.
he held onto that cross. But there's been other ones that are pretty neat. Whenever you guys do a cemetery,
Okay. Yeah.
just look out for open graves. That's all you got to do. You sit down there, you don't call them out. This is me. I don't know about you. You do not, hey, why are you haunting this? Why are you doing this? Come out and fight me. No, that is so stupid.
No, that's the number one rule in the group is that you never call out a spirit.
No.
Because what I found out was if you treat them with respect, just like your dragons, in return they will respect you back.
Hmm.
You know.
And then
But
you
I
see
remember.
orbs.
Go ahead. Go
And
ahead.
then you see the orbs throughout the cemetery. Sometimes you feel sad when you go over to the pet cemetery, like there was a pet cemetery that we went to,
Yeah.
and I think it was Jefferson Hills, and they have a pet cemetery, and it was just sad. That made me sad because of all the dogs and the cats and the goldfish and everything that was buried there. That was sad.
Now, do you believe that animals have spirits?
Oh yeah, everything has a spirit.
Okay.
Everything, everything
Okay.
has some kind of core. Of the trees, they have core. I mean, they give us life. They give us
Mm-hmm.
shade. Um, Plants. Some of the plants out there are medicinal that you will never know, like daisy. If you have a daisy tea, you feel relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, there is this one mixture. It's passion fruit. You mix passion fruit and daisy, and you mix it in a tea. It relaxes you, and you can actually, if depending upon the amount, you can feel and see the spirits.
Okay, so that's like maybe I'm saying the wrong word, but alchemy. But
Yeah, it
what?
is alchemy. It is basically alchemy. Mooney showed me that. She gave me the thing. It was I'm sorry, passion fruit, flower, and daisy, and you mix them together, and you feel so relaxed that your mind is more open to seeing things and hearing things.
Okay. Now, what really got you started into, you know, all the different type of things that you just talked about?
To be honest, I have no life.
Okay.
I have very few friends, but the friends I have are awesome, and just out of boredom in the beginning, but then I got hooked onto it, and then I mean I got tons of books about herbalism, about dragons, about fairies, about everything you want to know, and I just read.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing this probably for I'm 57, single, um,
Yeah.
and I think I've been doing this for about 35, almost 40 years,
Okay.
I first started it when I read a book where power stations. Now that's some very powerful stuff there. If you ever want to stow a spell or anything like that, power stations because they create a lot of energy.
Right.
So, and that's what basically to me the spirit world is energy.
Okay.
Everybody's gonna have good energy, and you're gonna have the bad energy. Like good people, bad people, mediocre people. Some people just want to be left alone, but you
Hmm.
got those rambunctious ones who try to cause problems, and like good people, they give good people a bad name. Like they'll give good ghost a bad name because you have one that's doing, pulling blankets off of a person, or what's that called, Sean, when they sit on your chest?
The old hag theory.
Yeah,
But now the scientific thing for that is sleep paralysis. But in my book, I call it the old hag theory.
well, okay, I believe you on the old hag theory. Um, Again, everything could be explained, you know, scientifically. Everything could be explained. You just don't knock what people believe.
Right. I mean that
You know,
is the
I
truth.
mean, I believe that I'm better looking than you. I believe, you know, I'm far more intelligent than you. I, I
Uh,
believe
oh God.
that when we leave this world, God's going to go, "Hey, Patty, how you doing? Who are you?" You know, oh, that's my brother. We'll let him in. He's not on the list. Wait a minute. Yep. Like give God a fin or something like that, or St. Peter, whoever's at the gate, and say, like, let him in. He's my brother. And they'll be like, okay, since he's your brother, we'll let him in.
So you're like, okay, I see where you're getting at with that. I can. Holly said something that she had an episode of that in her haunted house. What we
What,
just talked
the
about.
night hag
Yeah,
or what?
the hag. Holly, was it the old hag? I think that's what she was talking about. The sleep paralysis and stuff like that.
Well, I believe that because I was in the Navy and I was on a certain ship. I'm not saying which ship I was on, but it's up in Boston.
Yes, she said.
And, huh?
She said yes.
Yeah,
That
and it was up in Boston, and it was filled with spirits. I was up there in the middle of wintertime, and being on watch, you had to go around the ship to make sure everything was fine. And we decided not to. There was no wind, but it was like really, really cold. And all of a sudden, the quarterdeck shack was locked, and all of a sudden, it busted open like bam, bam, bam. And then, yeah, we went on our watch after that. That was
hmm
the guy saying, "Hey, you're doing your job. You got to go out there and do it."
So on this ship that everybody knows, you could say the ship's name, the
The USS
Constitution.
Constitution, Old Ironsides.
Yeah. There's probably a how much. That's a good thing I want to ask you. How much paranormal activity did you get on the
A
Constitution?
lot. Every night.
Care to share
Every
some?
night, every day.
Could we
Like,
care to share some stories
sure,
on that?
we were watching a movie down in the sail loft, which was turned into where we slept on the ship. And we heard a bunch of kids running up and on the next deck up. So we went up and looked. We saw nobody.
Hmm.
And then we did a little investigation. There was a thing called powder monkeys. Powder monkeys were kids like from 8 to 10 years old, even younger, and they will carry the powder for the guns, for the cannons, running down.
Hmm.
They were powder monkeys. And they would just run up and down the deck laughing and giggling when they're not working. And
Right.
that's what we heard. We heard the kids screaming and yelling, laughing and stuff like that. The other time, a guy decided to sleep. One of the shipmates decided to sleep in the captain's um,
Quarter.
cabin,
Right.
and no, he only lasted about 5 minutes.
Really.
And he said he actually saw some guy standing at the end and telling him to get out.
Okay.
And you
So
see,
go ahead.
and there was this one time. Well, it's proven, and on the forecastle, you could see a shadow figure from the rifle top fall. and we did a little investigation on that. This is beforehand. Everybody was selling it. Apparently, when there was a Marine that was shot from the top, like the crow's nest, it was shot and he fell over. He was the only Marine that did that.
Hmm.
So you see that on occasions.
Okay.
Um, but all in all, it was one of the best times of my life.
No, I'm glad that you had, and thank you for serving there, brother.
Hmm.
But, you know, so
On a real ship, not this damn subtender shit. Nah.
no,
We were
you're
real Navy.
no,
We were
no,
real
dude.
Navy.
No, all you did was stay on the dock and just stayed on the dock. You didn't go out maybe for one day and came out.
Yeah.
I was in Scotland, dude. So there. But what I'd
Ooh.
like to finish up, we're getting pretty close to the end.
Oh, okay.
But what I'd like to know, give me your theory on fairies, gnomes, the little people.
Gnomes. My theory is that they do exist. They're out there. Again, you leave shiny things out for them. They like shiny things. That's
Okay.
like if you leave buttons or shiny things, that's their currency.
Okay.
That's fairy currency is buttons, shiny stuffs. Not necessarily money, but that's what they. That's their currency. Along with if you see big blackbirds start coming around, they
Hmm.
like shiny things too.
Right.
And if you get to know the shiny ones, I mean the birds, leave some shiny things out, and they'll bring you back something in return.
I,
But
I got I got a story to tell you about that real quick. We had a crows, the crows and the ravens that hang out at the house.
mhm.
Um, I don't know. I would just throw bread out and they'd come down and eat it. I didn't send them no shiny stuff, but I remember one time I was out in the backyard and like this raven just, flew right above me and he dropped a marble and I still have that marble,
There you go.
so that's
You're lucky. You're probably one of the luckiest people around here that does that happen to.
yeah, but you know what? I was also told that if you see a lot of ravens, if you see a lot of blackbirds, that's also the goddess Morgana that's hanging around too. Do you believe in goddesses and gods?
Yeah. Oh, I do. I believe in all the gods and the goddesses. Dragon gods, fairy gods have their own pantheon.
Hmm.
Fairies have their own pantheon. Dragons have their own pantheon. Elementals have their own pantheon. Um, like you got the Greek, Roman, I can't, African one. I don't remember the name.
What is a pantheon?
Pantheon is like the Greek pantheon. You got Zeus as the main dude for the Greek. Okay,
Okay,
then you got Poseidon, Ares. That's the pantheon going down.
okay,
Um, that's the pantheon.
all
The,
right,
the big guy is the one.
okay. That's interesting. Now, see, to me, when Paul was small, me and Dawn are divorced, right? And I
Hmm.
lived over in Pleasant Hills, and I had him out in your garden over there, and we were sitting on the bench in the garden, and we saw all these little fairy lights, right? Lights that were real small, right around the base of the garden. And the next morning we came out and we actually saw a full mushroom fairy ring, which was really good.
Nice.
And that's what really, really, really got me into believing in fairies. So what do you do? Say like, and I know you did it one time, but I forgot what you did. But what do you leave out for fairies?
Well, you leave.
Around the
They like
house.
sweets. They like sweets. They like honey bread, cake, and they like a heavy cream or milk. If you set that out, you're not going to see them. You might see a raccoon come up. You might see a fox or some other type of possum
Hmm.
or something on that lines. That's them. Um, Forget the term. They turn into a raccoon, or
Okay. Oh, okay. They shapeshift.
they shape shift,
Okay.
and then you just see the raccoon. The raccoon will take a bite or scamper off and take the drink. And if you just leave it, don't watch them the first night, Second night, you'll see when you wake up in the morning, the bowl's gone or the heavy cream is gone,
Okay.
has been missing.
All right.
And that's letting them know that they were there.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's getting close to time. I got 5 minutes left of the show. I want to thank you for being on tonight, Pat.
Thank
It
you.
was, I had a great
Yeah, and
time,
you needed your ratings up then.
and I
So
needed my ratings up. So everybody, go to SoundCloud and look for Into the Night, and you'll see my single brother, who's 57, who's better looking than me. Okay, and then maybe you can hook him up.
shut up. You're making me blush.
Any last words for my guest, bud?
No, just everybody be safe and have a good time and believe what you want to believe and don't let nobody tell you anything different.
Holly said good night, Sean and Pat. Take care. You too, Holly.
Good night, Holly.
And
Bye.
with that, I'll talk to you later. All right, brother?
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Just hit the little red dot on the bottom where it says leave. There you go. Well, that was my brother. I'm glad he came on. It was an enjoyable show. A different change, He's a good brother. He's a good brother. Sometimes he drives me nuts. Sometimes he drives me insane. But he's there if you need him. You know, sometimes you don't have it up there, but you know what? I kind of keep him under control. But before I close, I just want to, come out and say, that you're going to be okay. Everyone's going to be okay. Stuff happened this past week and through a Spore Looper. And so, as you know, Trish is no longer with Chasing Prophecy, and she's got her new 2-hour show. It's called something Peace, Finding Peace, or something like that. And it's on Monday nights at 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. So it's just going to be me, Jen, and Jason back on, the three of us on Chasing Prophecy. Tonight, we had a real bad storm come through Pittsburgh. And it's called The Missing Piece. That's what it's called. And what happened was some of us lost our internet. And so we couldn't put on Chasing Prophecy. We couldn't go live tonight. But we're definitely going to go live next week. We'll be back on again, same bat time, same bat channel, UPRN Radio 105.3 here in New Orleans. And, the usual thing, you're going to be okay. I know I'll be okay. It might take some time, but you know what? God has a plan for me. Spirit has a plan for me. Who knows? But I knows that I am with you tonight, and I have my brother on, and we were sharing our stories, and so it was a good night, and I got the day off tomorrow, so I'm kind of happy for that. But what and I say this every week, and I really, really mean this. You have to give people hugs, okay? You really do. You have to encourage people. You have to back people up. There's no use to being angry, and there's no use to like trying to screw the other person over. And it's happening a lot over here in what's going on in the world today. You can't do it. It's just not right. But if you can make one person smile, or if you can help somebody, if it's helping them across the street, lifting their bags into their cars, or just giving them a smile and saying hi, you'll be surprised how much you would make that person's day. And what's really cool about it too, it will, continue because that person will make somebody smile and so on and so on and so on. But we got to be happy. We got to stick together, And I do have this dream, and hopefully one day this dream will come true. That for one day, 24 hours, that everybody got along. No fights, no arguments, just peace. And to enjoy people's company, you know? All I know is when I get really, really upset at people, I get ulcers, and I don't like having ulcers because they don't feel good, you know? But who knows what's going to happen? All I know is that, one thing I did learn in AA, yesterday was in the past. It's gone, it's done, and in the future, all I have is today. Right now, it's what, 12 o'clock? Okay. That's all I have is for today. So who knows? Maybe I might not wake up tomorrow or whatever, but I just need to tell you that, if you do wake up, there's a reason why God lets you wake up tomorrow. Okay. So parents, please, please, please hug your children and tell them you love them. And children, please hug your parents and tell them that you love them, because they're only there for a certain amount of time and then they're gone. I do cherish the time I do have with my mom, and I do cherish the time I have with my brother. It might not seem like it, but I do. So hopefully every family out there who's listening to this, please enjoy your families, and everything will be okay. And with that, I'm going to say goodnight and see y'all next week. Happy hunting.
Prepare yourself for an evening filled with paranormal, special guests, interviews, haunting stories, creatures of the unknown, and tales that will chill you to the bone. Brought to you by the UPRN Network and Pittsburgh Paranormal Society. Take a walk into the night with Shawn Kelly.